So we have two legs, and of course, thankfully, they're moving forward and standing up. Okay. So, but adding this together comes to 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. And 7, of course, is showing its representation as a leg. So when we speak, we could say, we speak of leg. We say, oh, we're legging it or leg it, So there is just, that is in plural. We know we are talking about someone moving forward. You say, oh, how did I get here? Oh, I legged it, or, just leg it. And, there's 7 here, which is an L. So we can see how the numerical symbols and the letters intermarry. We need to know that we are co-creators, make man in our image after our likeness. It is what we are putting out there that is going to birth. Be mindful of what we think of, be mindful of what we see, how we speak, how we think, and of course, we are creating man in our image after our likeness. Literally. And it won't be said that, and Eve was born out of the rib. Oh, which there are lots of kind of information to show what a rib means. It is metaphoric. Or there is one man as well who really showed how the bone of the rib grows, and so that it made sense. Of course, there's always, like today, people replicating or creating experiments to replicate something. Okay, you get it. And it's an acronym for learning, for learn, for earn, because when you learn, that in itself tells you you're earning wisdom, you're earning light, you're earning something. It's not just money, and you're growing, and you are obviously serving with this. So serving, of course, here you are already, because it's a cycle, as I showed before. This is not just like a vertical line. It is really a cycle. A line is also a cycle. It's just a cycle or a circle that is broken. That's what a line is. Because we could also call this a line, couldn't we? Okay, so but it's a circle, and of course you are learning here, but you're also serving, because the person or item or experience you are learning from, where, or the source, you're already serving it by attending. By already attending school, you're already serving. And we won't get too much into this. So we see that legs is number 16, and that is 7. We also had seen that to earn is 5, and we have to learn is 5, to earn we had, this would be 10, 15, 20. So to earn is 2. This is where you really have to work hard. Can you see how the number 2 comes in? It's harmonious, it's a relationship, but it's also foundational. So to earn, you can see that it needs partnership. It needs partnership. Okay, and then we have to grow, which really shows us grow is 22. No, grow is 9. Of course, the child has grown out of the womb and getting into the new world. So it grows. We are now in growth stage. We are in all the stages simultaneously, but tonight, right now, we are in grow and learn. And of course, by the way, it is the ninth. This is the synchronicity. It is the ninth. I'm recording on the ninth of the ninth. So this is what I mean right here. Okay, so we are double growing. The twins are growing tonight. Okay, and this is my second video as well. And we are serving, which is 6. And when we added all this together, this is what we had. I'm just recapping in case you're joining us for the first time, and so you can get an idea of what all this all this seeming mess, all this important mess is about. Okay, so 6 plus 9 is 15, plus 2 is 17, and we have 17 plus 3, I'm sorry, 5 is 23. I think that is correct. 17 plus 17 plus 5. Yeah, it's 22, sorry. 22. And this is what we have, 22 here. So we had worked it out. And this is the terrible twos, we call them. This is 2020. Now, I must tell you this, and I love to say this because this is where, and in fact, I am reminded now to invite the spirit of, or the presence of, the high priest Aaron, who is also 22. So I like to acknowledge 22 as the high priest, because the high priest Aaron was he was the leader. He was the only one. Remember, before his son, of course, Elysier or something like that, had taken on the role of the high priest to go into the tabernacle. So the high priest Aaron, of course, he was the one that God had appointed as Moses's tongue or mouth, because Moses had a speech impediment. This is the story, but the story has layers of depth of wisdom, which the high priest Aaron is really giving on to us. He says if we are ready to keep our crown chakra activated, he will pour down this this information to us, because I just love the way he just relates those things. He's a little bit comical. I think perhaps at the back of Moses's head, so to speak, or at the back of Moses, he was kind of laughing at Moses having this speech impediment. Yeah, you can't really speak, or can you, or something. No, but I don't think he had to confess every sin on behalf of all the children of Israel. Can you imagine taking on all this mourning, all these complaints and everything? And I don't how as well he had to transform this into, because he wore a breastplate that denoted all the colors of the tribes of the Israel as well. There is a lot to this man. And of course, so he had to make sure that he was without sin or worthy enough to go into the tabernacle. He did that. And it was said there was a rope or something, either around his foot in case he had missed something and had died in there, because no one else was authorized to go in there, so they would have to pull him out. Okay, so this is the pulling out we have to do right now. This is Aaron. Aaron is like making us look on all sides, what if we do something or we miss something? How are we going to get out of it? How are we going to, he is the one who gets us to reflect. Okay. So back on this, because I have this thing of wanting to keep these short, but when I'm with Aaron, oh God, and with me and the 14 gods, which we are the embodiment of, well, that's another story. And of course, trying to convey this, you understand. So we are talking about 22. We are in 2020, and we can see the relationship, how this intuitively marries very well and is relevant to us today, now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, now, so we can be prepared for tomorrow, so we can create man in our image and likeness. Now, people, let me tell you, we are creating moment by moment. You meet someone and you have a conversation with them, and you leave them with your voice, you leave them with what you reverberate, you leave them with your aura, you leave them with your vibration. You are creating. You have left something with them, according to Emmett Fox. Nothing. Okay, it really means like everything connects with something like itself. So you want to connect with the best part of the other person that you are meeting or connecting with, that your energies will reverberate on a high vibration, and there you create in your image after your likeness. It's like you invest in your energy or your characteristic, your smile, your essence with someone else, and they like with the memory and thought or whatever it is that you have left them with, they are creating after that. Can you see this butterfly? It is night time. Can you see? This is how spirit works and really tells us. It's like, yes, and this is the high priest era that's made his presence felt. Okay, this is just really wonderful. It's almost like I feel I don't need to say anything else. Okay, but we will wrap on. Okay, and so we also understood that these are the gods that deal with learn, for instance, the ended god, the made god, and the moved god. These gods are the gods that has the they have the numerical vibration of 5, so that they are the ones who, of course, because 23 is 5, so they deal with 5. Now that doesn't mean that they don't have any other connection with any of the other gods. Remember, in the same way that I have explained that my essence and words or sounds, whatever, reverberates with another person because we have different aspects of ourselves. Likewise, the gods work in the same way. The 14 gods work in the same way. It's like your hand, of course, has a relationship with your mouth. You eat with your hand and mouth, so there is a relationship right there. And this reminds me, just to put this here, mouth is 5, which is end, and hand is beginning. So the whole story of Adam and Eve comes from eating, and here mouth is ending. So this is Mother Eve. Mother Eve is the mouth, the word. When it is said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was always God, or whatever it is. So where end is, beginning is. This is beginning and end. So remember this, with numbers, we are talking about numbers, the birth, the end. It's like the child comes out of the uterus. So this is what we are talking about. It's a mouth. Okay. And here, so this is here we are learning. This is end. The mouth is learning from the hand, the beginning here. Okay. And urn is 2. So the God of 2 is the only God, is the created God. And the created God, this is why there were 2 creations as well. So created God, I did a whole list of terms or words from created, rat, heart, earth. So you can imagine looking at the word created, which has the word create or art or eat, because this is where the whole story of Adam and Eve evolved from the word eat. They ate an apple, which equals 8. And 8, of course, is infinite. It's that infinite figure. So we can see a lot has come through this. This is where the payment was happening in the earning or of the created God. And we can see the word read, which is one of the ways that we really learn. And we read, R-E-A-D. We learn through reading. We could see that here. We learn through art. We learn through react. R-E and act. It's all there. It's all the letters. This is what we learn through. Okay. And then we grow. So here, and the God of breath. Of course, when God breathed in man's nostrils and he became a living soul, we see this is where I see it's almost, we have the picture of the world, it's a sphere, and it's almost like an image of a balloon blowing in a balloon, and it expands and expands and expands, And that in itself is a representation of who we truly are. God breathed in us and we evolve in this way. And it's not just in this physical sense. If you're watching this, I know you know this thing, but this is what we do here. We ignite that which is within us to come alive. So we do that through each other. We do that through reacting. We do that through creating. We do that through reading, learning, and growing, and all, and mirroring each other. So I know you know this. So here with the breathed God, because the word grow equals 9. This is where I feel as well that the 14 gods have, I feel it's in the element of growth or in the vibration of growth that all the gods, every god has his or her seed in growth. And to explain this, of course, with the breath, because there would be a planting, and we have the story of the story of the Garden of Eden, which means that everything would be planted, and when it is said, and God breathed. So, and we know that Adam and Eve, or Adam was meant to tend the garden. Now, tending the garden is one of the ways that you learn every aspect of growing something, and to the fact that it would be on your table where you eat. If you do a bit of gardening or grow vegetables or any seed of any kind, whether it was even simple flowers, and you were to have those bouquet on your table, you would know what it takes to really make this happen. And this is where you see life really flourishes. Everything comes alive. So here we see that grow, and even in the word grow, we have like row. We have there was another word. We have row. We have raw. No, this is I probably will do this another time, but I saw all of this, but and you can have fun with this as well. But you can see that what I mean here as well, there is a W, because the W at the end of the word grow actually is a signature of the 14 gods. It's like 7, the L that we are talking about. So, and again, it's not about what we have learned to see as straight, because we are co-creators, we are creating. So it would be on your perspective, or or the angle that you're looking at something. So this is 1 7, and this is the other 7. This is 7, and 7 is 14. Of course, 1 plus 4 is 5. And so this is why W has the value here of 5. We can see W has the value of 5 right here, and it's in the middle of numbers 1 to 9. So 5 is really the key. 5 is key. 5 is pyramid. That's why if you do the word pyramid in numerical value is 5. If you did the kundalini is 5. Pineal gland is 5. If you did chamber is 5, because it's going within. Open is 5. Lock is 5. Home is 5. House is 5. So there are end is 5. And so there are so many things that really show us the life itself is 5. That really show us the true essence of the gods with this W. W is like double people, double me, double you. Whenever we are together, when you and I are in communion or communicating or having this dialogue, or you're watching me, we are, even if not in the physical sense, we are doing W. Whether you are agreeing with me or not, you are in, when you're not agreeing, perhaps you are on the reverberating the non-agreement side of myself, if you like to. But you are doing a W. We are doing W. Okay, and the word double as well, I think might be 2 or 5. Let's just do it. And I am going to DOUBLE. I did find out something. I'm just recalling something I found out about W, but let's just see. 2, 3, 6, 4. This is 10, 15, 20, 23. And so this is it. So 23 is 5. But again, W here, when we do on the scale, this also gives us that we have done this before, where it's also 11. So if we added 5 plus 6 here, because this gives us 6, 5 plus 6 is 11. So it comes in the same column as the number 5, 11. And also the W, which is 5, if we break down W as in 5, 1 is 7 and other 1 is 7. So 1 is 7. Okay. So and that's how we get our 5. Again, 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So we can see how the numbers really work. Okay. There is so much on this deliciousness. I do have my spoon. Oh, I love to have my spoon, although it's about these fingers are so good too, because they remind me about the beginning. And I will have to remind you, as I've reminded myself, when we are doing this, you better get your cutlery and whatever it is, because we are about deliciousness on here, and we are about eating because it's a mouth, learning, beginning, and so on. Okay, so get your knife, get your spoon, fork, whatever it is, and let's have fun on here. So we have done planted. So we know about planted. There is the scripture verse, I think it's in Proverbs as well, that tells us to observe how the ants really manage, or how they work, or how they, in their colony and stuff. Observe them and see how they are, so we could learn from them. But however, we could see that the word ant is in the middle as well, ANT. But I also feel it tells us or reminds us that we are like ants as well, to whatever higher realms that we are ants, as ants are to us, we are also ants to them. I believe so. Okay, and the word breathe, going back to breathe, because all this is 9. The word breathe has reed, it has earth, because earth is the external representation of heart. Our hearts are many heartbeats. There are many hearts of the earth, of the that forms the heartbeat of the earth. This is how I put it. Each heart is like a heartbeat of the earth. So we have earth, we have heart, we have rat. There's always a rat around. We have he, her, all to do with the beginning. So when it is said, and God breathed in man and he became all these were in existence already. The he, the her, all of those things, all of those vibrations, all of those things were there. But we have to be mindful not to be deceived and think that we are the first entities, as we were taught of Adam and Eve were the first people. And we all know from that story, when the twins, one had killed the other, just put it this way, because these stories have different layers of truth and wisdom. But when Cain killed Abel and he was sent to another land, or wherever it was, he found his wife and had wives and so on. And so there was lots that we had been oblivious to through the teachings that we had. But here on Crimey Queen, we are using numerology to unpack a lot of those things, and to unpack the essence, and to have them serve us to become the co-creators that we are meant to be, after all kind. Because Mother Eve says, it's time, grow up. She's, and I think that's why she wasn't so happy anymore. By the way, she's just come this way now. I hope she's looking, that's Mother Eve now. And she's like saying, yeah, it's time to grow up. I can't be breastfeeding you all the time. You need, because you are going to be like I am, and others are going to breastfeed from you. So you need to grow up. So this is what growing is about here, people. This is what planting is about. Planting is is the first part of growing. But I shouldn't even say, because we see it as a cycle. A seed comes from the fruit, just as the seed had come from the fruit of that Mother Eve and Adam ate. So the seed brings after its kind, and so it's almost in some sense of saying, oh, which came out first, the chicken or the egg or something like that. But there's the fruit and then there's the seed. Okay, but we won't be too bothered about that right now, not in this presentation. And so we have these two gods are dealing with growth, the god of planting and the god of breath. And I say all this to remind you, you can call upon the god of breath and the god of planting in these times to set out your foundation, whatever it is you are called to do, to create, to have a template, to have an affirmation, to have a solution to a problem, to have a project put in place. You call upon the gods. Call upon the gods. People take it for granted as well. They like to say, okay, I call upon, I'm not going to disrespect your God or your faith in any way whatsoever, because I feel everything and for everyone has its purpose and time and seasons, just as the scripture says as well. And yes, God is forever the same, yesterday, today, and now, because He's everything, or she, everything. But this everything, we have been given the time, the years, the seasons, and everything is for a time, a season, and a reason. So in this sense, we need to capitalize, if you like, or utilize the energies of that season. Just like when it rains, you are not going to say you are going to take a sun bath when it's raining. No, you cannot do that, because the weather does not does not permit that. Not at that time. So hence, with the gods are now rising in that in this time, in this 2020. And I started these videos, it was in 2017, I think it was, when I discovered, I think the 2017 or so, when I really was convinced and understood what I had really discovered in Genesis of chapter 1 and 2. And I thought, I think I saw it when I was writing. I also saw when I was writing my book, because I had lost the 6th chapter of the first volume of the book. I had lost the 6th chapter, and I was compelled, because I am a clairvoyant as well, so I could go to Genesis chapter 1, go to Genesis chapter 1, and I can tell you the stories of this clairvoyancy that I experience. It's just amazing. So learning to listen, which we all are gifted in some way or in many ways. And I saw this, but of course with writing I was very occupied with healing myself, because my writings were for healing my body, my mind, my spirit. I was birthing the twins like in 2020. They felt very much like what we would say coronavirus and COVID-19. But just as a lot of people are finding the cure for themselves, just like a lot of people are finding a newness, they are able to reflect, they are able to make new decisions, they are able to be empowered, they're able to shed skin. Yes, and some of us have lost loved ones in the process of all this, but that's what it is about, shedding of that which no longer serves. And that's what the earth is doing right now. That's what the earth calls us to pay attention to leave, shed all of this. Like the serpent shed its skin. It has to shed its skin, and that's why the serpent is so pinnacle to our learning of the wisdom and understanding that is necessary to create man in our image after our likeness. So I do understand this. I'm going to end this on just the gods again. Let's just complete what gods are serving here, as I have done this here, so we can conclude on this because it's a long video. So the God of serving here is the only God, which number 6 again is the God, is the said God. Just as I mentioned before, the said God is the God of words, the God of wisdom. That's the serpent right there. And let's just show you here. So 24, we have this 6 shows up quite a few times, but as of the gods, which we will discuss this 6 again, but the God is the said God, S-A-I-D. Oh, my pens are drying up. Okay, S-A-I-D is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. So the said God again comes in the middle of the template that we are talking about. Right here is the said God. When we add these together, 4, 5, 6, because every 3 segments or columns of the sacrifice template equals 6. This is what the 666 is about. This is what a lot of people associate. They say it's the mark of the beast, but the mark of the beast is to work the beast that is within us, to shed the skin. It's the representation of the serpent, that which we are, because the serpent is 7. And I have done numerous presentations to show you how the serpent and number 7 and number 14, how the numbers work. Because, let's just do it here, because we are going to conclude on this one here. So the serpent, S-E-R-P-E-N-T, is, I'm just going to do it this way, it's 34. 34 is 7. If we did the numerical value for the word 7, that's because, in case you are new to this, we see that Mother Eve, which I have shown, Mother Eve really is the serpent. People tell you about, oh yes, she was tempted by the serpent. Eve was the serpent. Just like we have taken on the characteristics of the gods to perform in so many different roles, in one day we can do this. You can be the mother, you can be the sister, you can be the secretary, you can be the actress. You could play out all those different roles in one day. This is why they say they and they. But the they aspect is the same they. This is how the scriptures is written in layers of wisdom. So we can see Eve, she's the one with all her wisdom, evens things up. She evens things up. I think this deserves a clear a clear box.